Hey, Clutch Crew, I gotta say, I really want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love that you come out and you keep showing love and support by following us, watching the videos. I'm very curious to hear your feedback on that, so any comments, any questions, please feel free to hit me up. You can always follow us in the aftermath on our IG at JonClutch, where all the shenanigans kind of take place. TikTok is Jon_Clutch, and also please don't forget to follow BSchoolForTheBlock. They're on IG. They have a YouTube channel as well, doing big things, and like I said, collabing with two like-minded entrepreneurs, trying to do big things, trying to just providing value for the community, and trying to build up people, their confidence, and see how we can basically take over the world together, in a positive note. So, but we're here to provide as much entertainment and value as we can for you. So please feel free to give us a follow. We'd really appreciate it. It does go a long way. So thank you so much again.
In this series, I invite you to take a journey with me as I sit down with my personal network of colleagues and friends and have a real conversation about business, life, and all the lessons learned along the way. It's my re-entry into the journalistic world. It's also a great opportunity to talk shop with empowered individuals. But most importantly, it's a conversation which you get to hear now, verbatim. Venture capitalist and New York Times bestselling author Ben Horowitz once wrote, "If you gotta eat shit, don't nibble." I first read that almost a decade ago when I found it in his book, The Hard Thing About Hard Things, and I've never forgotten it. I use it all the time. It's a gem I take with me everywhere I go because it's always valid. It usually leads me to great outcomes, and it keeps me in a more ready mindset to go solve problems, which I think is so crucial to achieving anything. Having the right mindset and attitude to go try shit and figure shit out. Whether in art or in business, the right mindset is everything. But I didn't always see things that way. I spent a good amount of my youth with a bad attitude towards many of the things that I love to do now. And it took me time, healing, exploration, and loss to improve my outlook. And now I can say I'm proud of the person I've become in that process. Which leads me to why I chose my guest. In my life, he's always been a source for great times and dope memories. From legendary parties to his adventurous lifestyle, he's always been in lockstep with his own drumbeat. A drumbeat that, interestingly enough to me, I've come to find is very similar to my own. He defines himself by his own beliefs, and he pushes himself to live to those standards. And now, without any previous experience, he's become a successful entrepreneur as a live streamer, reselling retail products on the live auction app Whatnot. And in 1 year, he's managed to grow an audience there of over 20,000 subscribers. And he did so without any prior experience in social media, live streaming, or reselling online. And he credits a lot of that success to his mindset, his unwavering desire to master whatever he puts his mind to. And that's the kind of energy I want to create with. These are the kinds of conversations I want my podcast to be known for being dope, honest, smart, funny, and inspiring. And that's why today's conversation is with my childhood friend and founder of the Clutch Crew morning show on Whatnot. He is the breakfast king himself, Jon Clutch. I met Jon almost 2 decades ago. We grew up in the same neighborhood in North Bergen, New Jersey, and we've fortunately been able to maintain a solid friendship for many years now. And when a mutual friend, Pierre, told me that Jon was live streaming, I was immediately interested. I thought it was so cool that he was throwing his hat in the ring on social, and then to hear that he was thriving on social, well, that was even more dope. Maybe like 2 weeks later, I was in the car with Pierre driving 2 hours away to go see this guy because I wanted to know more. While there, he walked us through his whole story and process, and it was truly captivating to hear. I asked him then if he'd speak on camera with me about it, and he was with it. He definitely saw the collab potential here. I would eventually return a few months later to record it. That's when and where this was captured. And there, we talked shop on business mechanics, building community, adaptability, hard work, wins and losses, shifting mindsets, and prioritizing self-love. I drove 2 hours for what I believe would be great content. And what I found was a warm welcome, an honest perspective, a great time, and a truly captivating conversation between two old friends that randomly reconnected because of content creation and entrepreneurship. This is episode 2. If you gotta eat shit, don't nibble. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you get into this, and what is it that you do specifically?
My lifestyle.
No, I mean with the reselling. Let's go into the business part of it.
The business, how I do it?
Well, just what it is that you do. Just so the viewers may not know.
Yeah, all right. So in a nutshell, my business is basically I'm a reseller and I'm a streamer. Okay, I source very, very inexpensive sneakers, clothing, apparel, and things like that. I sell them and live auctions. So that's basically what we do on the Whatnot platform. And I'm under Jon Clutch on that platform. Other platforms, obviously, Jon Clutch is the same thing. But the whole sense of that is just to get, because the app is known for getting deals and steals, you're not selling anything at market value. You have to source your inventory so low that when people feel like they got a steal on you, you are able to still profit off of that. So that's why it's very difficult for a lot of people that are just starting on the app that don't have the ton of inventory, don't have the ton of followers to find success on that app. But we happen to be the anomaly there, where from our first weekend, we haven't lost money on a full show ever. Ever. We've lost money on items, but it's never been a complete show where we lose running auctions. We've had shows where we just hung out, talked some shit, ran a giveaway, and yeah, we're not making money. I'm not including those shows. The shows that we do actual auctions, bro, we have profited every show. Profit may have been $20 because it was a rough day, but it was still a profitable show. You know what I mean? So it's just something that the way we've used Whatnot, because we haven't gone into normalcies, right? Anything that's just been common practice on that app, we've separated ourselves. So we're a very unique show in the sense where you can take a break from other shows, because there's shows that are entertaining as fuck. There's streamers that are great on camera, have great deals, great shoes, amazing inventory, but that's the standard. So when you want to take a break from that, you always know that if you check into our show, it's all right. It's not just constant buying in auctions. You know, you can take a break from that.
Yeah, you see, that's interesting you say that, because I always advise that with people who are trying to like make an income from social.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sell all the time.
Oh
yeah. There's some balance between entertainment and the money making process.
You can sell all the time if you have a great resource. There's plenty of people that live by or have a family member that just happens to work at this place that they get the stuff below cost, or they get the stuff as tips, or you just happen to live next to a store. The way I started the whole actual reselling, I happen to live next to the only clearance Timberland in the entire United States. So any Timberland across the nation that got clearance down went to this one store that was 2 miles from my house, and I was getting premium Timberlands that retail for $212 for $50. Luck, pure luck. But the more you go out and you start to source, you can come across something that if all I did, and that's all I did was sell Timberlands. And on Mercari, which you don't know me. I just post a picture. Here are the Timberlands. This is my price. You want to pay the price? Cool. So I can't even sell them with my show, my character, my enthusiasm. That's how good the prices were, that they sold like hotcakes, bro. I saw what everyone else was posting them for. Like, all right, I'm going to undercut you by about $40. And I'm going to still double my money on every pair. Dude, out the door. Just like that.
What would you say that business acumen, because I would say you would have to have that in you to be able to spot the opportunity.
That's the word. I'm an opportunist. You got to be an opportunist. You have to see everything at its best potential and also figure out what is the worst that would happen. If the worst thing that happens is you try to invest with, let's say, 10 pairs of shoes and they don't sell, you're out 10 pairs of shoes. Is that going to destroy you? Is that going to cripple you? If that will, start off with 2 pairs of shoes. You know, you can,
like, there's a solution to every problem.
You can scale it to your own resources. I started cleaning my used Timbs
COVID hit. We were locked down in the house. We had a bunch of Tims because we live right there. We were enthusiasts. We grew up in Timberland fucking country, you know? So I love being able to get Tims for cheap. So I had a lot. I don't need a lot. You know, times were tough. Well, fuck it, let's clean them up. Let's put them for sale. The same day. They're selling the same day. Shit sits on that app usually for 3-4 days a week too. So we just saw like, what the fuck? We tried something. It yielded amazing results. Keep going. You keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. So all the money we got, we just reinvested it into newer boots. So I'd go and buy 3-4 pairs. I got a little bit more, and I'll go 4 or 5 pairs. I got a little bit more money, 6 or 7 pairs. And it just kept growing until eventually our whole living room was stacked with Timberland boxes. The only gaps were by the windows, so we had some form of fucking light. But that's all it was. And she understood that as much as she wanted a clean living room, she wanted to be able to sit down and watch TV, she understood that this is something that we just can't pass up on. This has amazing returns.
How, in the time that you've been doing whatnot, what has been the most you've made in a single night, and how much did you make towards the end of the year?
Ooh, a single night is rough. We've had some wild shows where we went on selling sprees. And I think a lot of it was probably toward the beginning too, when we were just getting started, but people were so excited at the prices we had because the market was at an all-time high. But I was getting sneakers from the Nike stores with a coupon on top. So since these shoes were selling over retail, I was getting them 15% off retail. So I was getting really good deals, and that's what really started up a big buying frenzy. So I think the first weekend we brought in what, $5,000?
First like 2 shows.
The first weekend, the shows were probably 2 or 3 shows. We brought in like $5,000 in sales.
And what was the take home on that?
We probably we cleared after fees probably, I don't know, just over $4,000.
That's really fucking.
Yeah. So it's and it varies. Like we have our morning show regularly. We'll probably bring in about $500. That's an average show. We'll clear about 4 and change, which is not too bad. But you're doing 6 shows a week. You add that up, that's decent money.
But you're still also talking because your show is what, like 2 hours?
It varies, 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, it depends.
That's like $400 to $500 in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
No one's doing that at the time.
I know, and I'm holding myself back because it's more of a talk show than it actually is a live auction.
Right.
So if I were to just hold off on all my stories and just run item after item after item, we could be making at least, I don't know, another 50% on top of that.
Well, you know, given what you've stated before, would you argue that if you did do that, maybe you wouldn't have this? I feel like the audience
100%.
loves the talking.
100%. If I was just an auctioneering robot, I'm not going to have that time to understand my audience, to listen, to exchange with my audience, because at the beginning it was very easy. There weren't very many people in the shows. I was a nobody. Now we're the main thing every morning, and you know, we have regularly 100 people in there at any given point during our morning shows. So it's hard when, you know, not everybody chats, but at least 15 to 20 of those 100 people are in there plugging away. And the messages, you know, it's not like they're coordinating who says what. Sometimes 8 messages come in 2 seconds, and I got to go back and try to read each one. So by doing that, they're understanding that what's important to me is them, not the shoes. That's what separates me from a lot of other streamers, that it's not just business here. This is about what comes first is my relationship with my customer base and my community, because it is a community. Because a lot of them aren't customers. I just took a phone call with somebody. He says he's been watching my show for months, has never bought a thing, but he won't miss a damn show. So I can't even call them customers. It's the community that we've built.
You know, that's a real thing. I've worked with other people that they have fans of their shows, but they won't buy a product.
Yeah.
And I've had to explain to people that that's a thing that happens. When you're working on in these social spaces, you have to figure out who's who.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to entertain everyone, but you can't live off of the people that are buying.
Right.
Right. But there is a distinction, because sometimes people think that, oh, I got 20,000 views. I was like, yeah, but how much did that generate?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There is a ratio to that, and I'm glad that you spoke on that, because I feel like most people don't think that's real. You know what I'm saying? But you've had your success. You even said that you've pulled back to upsell in value to the audience through your story, um, and it's become a crucial component.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where I think a lot of people kind of go in the opposite direction, and they don't anticipate that the audience that they think is their buying audience is not actually buying. They're not prepared for that, and so it discourages them from continuing.
Ooh, you got to understand that. So that to me it is, like you said, a lot of people don't understand that's a reality. That's a super reality. More people are window shoppers nowadays. More people are going around to find new forms of entertainment and new ways of spending time on social media, because there's so much to choose out there. So when guys are selling things, you got to understand that everyone's a potential customer, but not everyone's going to buy. They don't need that size. They don't need that color. They don't need, whatever it is that you're selling, it's not going to apply to everybody. So you have to make sure that when you're doing this, you at least treat everyone with respect and fairness, and then you'll kind of, it'll trickle through the people that actually want to purchase things from you, because you treated everyone fairly. Go, okay, I feel comfortable enough to buy now. And the people that are just be on the sidelines, they appreciate that. They like the, generosity, or you being genuine, whatever it is, the reason that they're there for, they're going to continue as viewers. But the viewers have a intangible value, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know whose cousin's a producer, or a this or a that, or whatever it is you're doing that can help you. That all he can do or they can do is hey, have you checked this guy out?
Can you envision your ultimate goal, and how does your vision guide your decisions and your actions in your career?
I do not envision my ultimate goal. I have no idea what that's going to be. My ultimate task, I would say, is to obtain success, to be successful in my own terms, and live a fulfilling life. So what that is going to end up being, zero idea.
Okay, so then what makes a fulfilling life?
Just being able to feel successful. I think that can range tremendously, because you can meet a homeless person that feels tremendously fulfilled. You can meet a CEO that, with all the money and all the fame, they feel successful. It has a wide range. So to me, my personal vision is to have some form of financial security and be able to enjoy my life with my wife, my family, keep doing hobbies that I'm interested in, and keep doing something that I feel useful, that I feel that can be impactful, that can be used for some form of benefit in that sense. So I think for what I'm doing right now as a reseller, as a streamer, connecting with the community, and providing a sort of value in that connection, and providing that atmosphere, that's incredibly fulfilling. So this is something that is kind of structuring that path to where I feel overall successful.
Would you say that that's why you go so hard? Because I've seen you go like 7 days a week.
I do, and it's a combination of just work ethic. It's something, anything I have a passion for, I go hard. It's automatic. I can't hold back. I can't, I'm not wired to just take it easy. So this is something that I found is surprisingly, because I did not envision that going into this. I built a huge passion for it. Huge passion for it. I love doing it. I love getting up every morning and putting on a show. We have a streak of, I don't know how many consecutive, weekday shows, of over 70 something shows in a row without missing a show. And that's still with managing life and managing all the orders and managing, remembering anniversaries and cleaning the yard and cooking dinner and all this stuff that still comes with, living your own life. We don't have butlers or maids, so we got to rely on ourselves.
Figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it's a good segue. So then how would you say you prioritize your time and energy, and what activities of practice do you focus on to ensure that you hit your mark?
I think what I prioritize, number one, is myself. If I'm at my best, anything I invest time into will at least yield the best possible results. So my routine is consistent of getting enough sleep, eating clean, finding a form of exercise. Mine just prefers to be the gym. And, all the little hacks they tell you, get some sunlight, a couple of vitamins, a little meditation, breathing exercises. So if I'm running at the most efficiently possible, then everything I'm going to take on should yield the most beneficial, or the most progressive state that it can come in. If I'm doing things half-assed, if I'm doing things because I'm half asleep because I only got 3 hours of sleep, if I'm doing things where I feel already overwhelmed and tired, or because let's say you're not in great shape, you wear down and you wear out faster, those are things that if I have more endurance, if I have more energy, if I have more cognitive function, I fast a lot. Fasting is great to keeping your mind clear and staying sharp and getting on top of things. So all that combined, I've kind of experimented with my body to see what works the most efficient and what produces the most results. And that is how I prioritize my time. So I make sure I go to the gym at least 3 to 5 times a week. I make sure I fast every day. I either eat once a day every 24 hours, or I do 2 meals, but I have a long intermittent fasting window. And then beyond that, it's making sure the show's done, the orders are packed, I hit the gym, take care of the groceries, come home, make lunch, get everything organized, and then either take on another show or go restock inventory or go do all that. But if I'm at my sharpest, it's all gonna be a lot more efficient.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, I see you now as the adult, but was there ever a point where you weren't like that?
Oh yeah, I was young and dumb, just like all of us, dude. I was young and dumb, and I probably had too much confidence without earning that kind of confidence. I had a reputation for having a big head and being conceited, and a little bit of that has to do with being Uruguayan. It's just in our DNA to be a little, yeah, dude. It is. Most Uruguayans I've met are not the coolest.
Just like, yo, you're my people, fuck.
Yeah. But it was just that I was a popular kid growing up. I was a little bit of a bully. I just got really lucky because soccer, I was so good at being a goalie in soccer, and goalie is a very specific position that if you're good, you're going to beat everyone else out because there's a ton of field players, but there's only a few goalies. That kind of kept my status high. And so I've always felt this confidence where I can do anything. I can get away with whatever. So I used it maybe not for the best purposes while I was young, but now as an adult, I've learned kind of how to harness that confidence and use it to my advantage in a way that's beneficial, not in a way that's going to, provide any kind of hurt to anybody.
That's interesting you say bully, because I think, I know you at least 20 years now, right? I've never seen that side. That's an interesting perspective. Why would you say that?
So I wasn't a hardcore bully, like I would beat up kids for their lunch money. I was more of a verbal bully. I would be kind of witty or know kind of where to pick at people, what things to say just specifically to get them to feel insecure. And I would use that as a defense mechanism to kind of make myself feel a little bit more.
Do you think, sorry to interrupt, but yeah. I wonder if do you think our environment where we grew up was part of it?
100%. Our generation and our environment.
Because we had to be tough.
Oh yeah.
No one told us to pull back. It was be that guy.
Yeah, you stand your ground.
Yeah.
You stand your ground at the very least.
Yeah.
I saw it more advantageous to take the first step and bro, you don't want to, it's gonna be a bad idea if you want to fuck with me. So I'm already gonna come out saying bro, I'm not about just trying to get along today. We can get along if you're not gonna come after me. And that's what kind of helped me. That's what kind of helped me establish that with a lot of people. I was never super trusting. I was always trying to be helpful, and I was always trying to be a good friend.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. But especially now, I like to keep people at arm's distance because you never know. Everyone's brand new. You really only know the people you've grown up with because you literally have seen them as a kid. You know their background. But I get everything has brought me to this point. If you're able to really look back at your life and understand your experiences, analyze them, and not carry them around as weight, but learn from them, dude, we can be way, way more just sharper. Just we don't have that kind of brain fog of things we're holding on to or past experiences we haven't gotten over. If you can clear that and you can, like I said, run efficiently, anything you want to take on, anything you really want to do, man, becomes that much easier. So just understanding yourself and having that helps me analyze what I've done, helps me use it for good now, and it keeps me keeps me happy, bro. Keeps me sane.
That's such an interesting journey because I guess unintentionally, because you said it before, like you didn't know this is where we were gonna go, right? Or what you ended up doing, you didn't know that that's what it was gonna be. But it seems like that whole experience primed you to kind of like have the tenacity to endure the learning process of what's been the reselling journey.
Yeah, and it's basically my drive that helps me endure whatever I pretty much take on. So I've trained myself. I've tried to acquire more skills to be a more efficient human, a more useful human, and that all basically compounds over time to having more direction, having more discipline, having more confidence. So that's why it might look easy, but being completely brand new, like I said, I've never streamed before I tried this. We've only been this in a year, for 1 year. I've never sold sneakers, and I wasn't a sneakerhead. So I didn't know about the culture. I didn't know the difference between a Jordan 1 and a Jordan 3.
I still don't.
Yeah, but when you're selling these all day, it's beneficial to know that, you know? So I went into it completely blind, completely dumb, but it's just grown into this thing that I can't even really describe. It's been amazing, and I have found success in this kind of streaming and doing these kind of shows.
Can you share a memorable collaboration experience and how it showcased a win-win outcome for everybody involved?
The most recent is going to be with Cindy. All right, when Cindy came here, she has her brand, the Trans and Active Lifestyle. It was something where it was a collab that just kind of happened because just like we're collabing now. We've known each other for a long time. I see that she's been very active on her Instagram, promoting her brand and all that. So by having a little bit of the platform that I have, I said, hey, why don't you come on over? I think it might be great exposure. We can try to sell some of your leggings that you promote and all that stuff. And then it just turned into, I think it was 2 shows back to back. And we had all that fun with me trying on the bodysuit and all that. Like, it turned into something that we didn't even imagine. The amount of views, how many views did we get that day? We got like 20,000 views in a day.
A lot of people I've talked to that saw it, and they were like, yo, you saw Baba with Cindy?
Yeah, no one's gonna hit me up and be like, yo, good shit. No, it's all the way around me. It's like, yeah, well, that's what we did, and I had no problem doing that. It was a ton of fun. She did make some sales, because this is her full time as well. Any sales gonna help. We were able to at least get her brand out there on a different platform so more people know about it. And, with time, that's what I said, compounds. It's gonna get you to your ultimate form of success.
I love that. I'm thinking right now, because we talked about it, right? Can you share a little bit of your thought process as to why you put on the thing?
The bodysuit, it was really random. It was random. We didn't rehearse anything. She already had her bodysuit on and she had her leggings on. So while we were demonstrating some things, she was showing, how it fits, how the pockets are, all that stuff. But she literally has to do a video to put on that bodysuit and take off that bodysuit because they're made so tightly with so much compression that you almost have to like Crisco up your legs, dude, before to get it to slide up. So Cindy is very, very attractive, okay? And I already have a lot of degens, what we call them on my show, that like to come in and be a little thirsty. So for her to do that demonstration, right on that may have caused a little bit of discomfort for her. So I just took it upon myself, like, say, Henry, listen, for shits and giggles, let me try it on. A novice. Because she knows, right? She knows how to do it on. She might make it look too easy. And people will be like, no, maybe I can't do it that way. But a novice and a guy that's never tried on a bodysuit, Scout's honor, I was like, fuck it, bro. I was like, let's do it on me. And it was just, that's for the moment where she was like, yeah. And she got really into it. She's like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it on you. So that just kind of, I don't know, made me feel more confident, secure in that moment. We're like, yeah, let's do it. We're live. I don't care. It's 2024, bro. I grew up with a very machista stepdad that if I mentioned putting on anything women's, it was a problem. But now it's like, fuck it. We're in different times, and also something to kind of prove to people like, bro, it's for fun, you know? It's not even that big a deal.
Yeah, I think you conveyed that really well because honestly, I think just as a viewer, because I've been following the show since I think it's like October.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? And then for me, like I randomly caught that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this shit is fucking entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, yo, that shit is fucking entertaining. And I was just like, yo, bro, this guy's out here doing this shit and like doing something unique, because I would have never thought in a million years that I'd be watching you do that right next to Cindy.
If you would have told me a week ago before that day that I'd be, because the thing with Cindy was fast. I hit her up, and within 2 or 3 days we coordinated what day to come over, and then that was 2-3 days later, and boom, it was less than a week. So if you told me a week prior to that I was gonna, you know, link up with Cindy, she's gonna come over and drive from, you know, the New York City area to be down here, and I was gonna try in a bodysuit on camera. Dude, the best thing was when I tried that on, I didn't know it was a thong in the back. I thought it was gonna be like a regular V panty, and it's not a big deal. I'm gonna look like a lucha libre guy, but no, I had no idea. It was till I saw the playback video, and that's when I went, I don't know if I would have went through if I knew it was a tanga, man. Dude, so I'm glad I didn't know, because we wouldn't have gotten that experience, would have gotten that episode, or I wouldn't have turned around or something. I would have played that off somehow. So I think it just worked out for the best, but whatever, it's done, it's over with, I'm not gonna sweat it.
But I think that highlights more of like how much you're willing to give to this.
All of it, dude, all of it. I have so much to give, and you better be ready to take all of it.
How would you say you embrace feedback and incorporate the lessons that you learned?
Oh, it is almost an absolute necessity. Without feedback, and that'll bring me into the topic of why it's not great being so sensitive nowadays. Because a lot of feedback usually isn't great. Usually. And you have to learn how to interpret that. Because if you know how to listen and you know what to pick out of that and how to make it adaptable and what you need to do to change to find success, that's incredibly important. So I think feedback is absolutely necessary. And the more you understand it, the more you can analyze it, the more you can really see its value, the more you can implement that in what you're doing in your day-to-day, and you'll see the growth with that. So I love all the feedback. That's why I love haters. There's trolls that come into the chat and call me ugly, they call me fat, they say this. I don't care. That's great. And I have a great story that there was this guy, his username was always Poos. So you can already tell he's a bit of a troll, all right? His name's Pooh. So he would come in, and I'm always in a soccer jersey every show. Soccer sucks in the chat, all caps. I'd go, oh, great, Pooh, thank you for letting us know how you feel. Have a great day. That's all he would do, yo, for months. Just come in once a day, soccer sucks, never say anything again. And my reaction was always the same. Yo, Pooh, thank you. I'm glad you got that off your chest. Awesome, dude. Keep it up. Have a great day. Months of this, till finally I'm doing a random show. Pooh's comes in, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? I go, what's up, man? Everything's cool, bro. It's nice to see you be part of the chat, you know, and all this stuff. And then it became a joke about him coming in saying soccer sucks, and he was very friendly the rest of the show and engaging with the chat and doing things. And then he finally got to a show where he's like, hey, man, I need size large shirts. Okay. So they're running one size, and he was outbidding everyone else for these auctions. So I went from having a troll coming in to having that kind of patience to just not break, and I created a customer out of it,
right?
And someone that even comes and regularly visits the show, which increases my views, increases my followers. You know, like to me, it's the long term. I always have the long term in mind. I could have easily blow up and say, no, soccer sucks, you suck, fuck you, you know? Easily could have done that. And I would have created an enemy. I would have lost a customer. I would have maybe looked a little bad to some people that would be like, you know, you could have handled that with a little more class. So to me, it's always it's so challenging being live, because you have to understand that how you act is being recorded, it's being broadcasted, and people can see you in real time. So that's how people, risk just being canceled or don't get into anything controversial because they don't want to, take the risk. So to me, I think it's a superpower to be able to be live, but have that. It's almost like it's in the background processing everything, making sure that it passes the quality control that I can say it on the live and it can work long term.
How would you say you've navigated your relationship and your business all being in the same place?
It is communication and trust. Communication and trust. Now, we have more of a traditional gender role at home where it's more that I'm the dominant one in the house and she's more the submissive one in the house. I know the terms. I didn't invent the language, guys. I know it's 2024. We're not doing that, but that's the way we practice our relationship. So she has a lot of trust in me in that sense, that as much as she may not see the vision I have or understand, completely why I'm doing things, that gap is made up by that trust factor. And by me always explaining things to her. I don't just tell her, listen, just shut up and trust me. That's never been a reason as to why I need to continue something. I'll tell her, hey, listen, I've never had this much return on an investment. I've never had this much exposure because I uploaded this video. So I explain things to her. And if there's things that I believe she may have a problem with, I just check in beforehand. So there's raunchy pictures of us that I would like to put on social. Hey, my love, are you okay with this? Yeah, that one's fine. All right, cool. I can post that one. So you're preemptive. You avoid those situations. You ask for permission. You don't ask for forgiveness after. Okay, at least not with your partner, in my personal opinion. So that's what's kept this boat afloat and steady, because we don't get to points where the waters are so rough that we're at each other's throats or we don't know what to do or we feel so overwhelmed. We make sure we take it step by step. We're both on the same page, and there's that trust in each other. So I think that's the easiest way to keep that alive, because it is complicated. I know a lot of people that have mixed business with pleasure and have complicated things to beyond repair.
Yeah, and I would also argue that there's people who are in relationships where one spouse doesn't get it and isn't supportive.
Correct. Yeah.
And that I've seen that take a toll on people.
Oh yeah.
And I just think you guys are a great example of how it could work.
Yeah. But Emily also knows, so to that point where people have, they're enduring these situations that aren't beneficial to them or their brand. To me, Emily knows that if, for whatever reason, one day she turns into that, this is not sustainable anymore. So we would have to come to terms on how to end this. And it's that straight up. I know it sounds cold, I know it sounds kind of mean, but that's the agreement that we've had. In order for this to be a partnership and to grow and prosper, we need to be on the same mindset as to what the ultimate goal is. If tomorrow she turns around and says, I don't want to eat clean anymore, I don't want to sleep well, I want to go out and party, I don't want to, then we're not on the same page, and I'm not going to align myself with this, because this is going to keep me from my ultimate goal. So she knows if she wants to stay and be fulfilled this way, she has this is like I said, I always tell her it's free will for everybody. It's if this is fulfilling to you and you're happy with this, awesome. I want you as my partner. I want to do this together. There's nothing that I want to go out and do that I don't want to bring out. There's nothing. I want to do everything with her, from our open marriage lifestyle and the pineapple clubs, to coming to my soccer games, to picking up my daughter, to going out shopping, to anything that happens to I want to do. I want my wife with me.
I need to pause you there for a second. You need to walk through Pineapple Club and not explain that.
If you know, you know, man. If you know, you know. That's why. That's what keeps people coming back. Yeah, Pineapple Clubs, man.
Okay. The fuck is a pineapple? No goddamn pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay. So keeping in that vein of working together in collaboration with your spouse and growing a business, I mean, and as you said, you've had every show that was an auction was profitable. What would you say have been some of the major setbacks and challenges that you faced on your journey, and how do you maintain focus through those challenges on the long-term goals?
Man, I gotta be honest with you. I really don't feel like there's been any setbacks. I think every step we've taken has been a step forward. Challenges for sure, but I can't even tell you there were challenges that have kept me up at night, that they were challenges that have wreaked havoc on my mental health. They were challenges that come with anything you want to try for the first time. It's throwing yourself into the fire, having to learn, at an accelerated rate because you don't have the time to just sit back and you have to produce every day. So yeah, the challenges are those that come with just going into new territories. But it's the drive that keeps me alive, dude. I don't see it as even a challenge because to me I'm equipped to handle it. A challenge to me is something that is beyond you. Like, man, that I gotta really, really, really hunker down and put all my eggs in a basket and really go after this because this is a challenge. This doesn't feel like I had to really like fight and claw, and there's things that takes. Like if I wanted to be a pro soccer player, that's a challenge. It's attainable, but the odds are fucking slim. You know what I mean? I have to literally dedicate the next year of my life to just training, just eating right, not having a sip of alcohol, just doing everything by the book, and then try out, and then spread the word and contact coaches and all. That's a challenge, bro. So what I've been doing, the everyday stuff, I failed at things, but it's not because they were so challenging. It was just I was not good at it. You can't see it like that. To me, it's you got to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. And if you're not good at something, bro, just find someone that is.
Right. You know what's interesting about that? Because I see you're like a career learner, right? And I see you now in this space, learning it, figuring it out, being successful at it. But then I also see you still fulfilling yourself with playing soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, still. Like I was doing my homework on you on IG, and I was catching some photos of you in mid-play, right? The face, like I saw it. It was go time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's this interesting superpower, and it kind of just it spills over into everything anyone does when you're able to tap in like that. So I wonder, how does it spill over for you from this to soccer to anything else that you do? How does it fill into all the other areas?
It goes back to what I'm passionate about. Anything I'm passionate about, you're gonna get 100 fucking %. There's from having sex, from playing soccer, to running a show, to anything I set my mind to that I'm gonna do, it's gonna be at 100%, 100 miles an hour. Because I'm not one of those people that, you got to tip your toe in the pool to check the temperature. To me, it's like, oh, that's the pool? Fucking dive in, bro. Cannonball in. Have fun on the way there, but eat it. Just go eat shit. Because the faster you can eat shit with something, the easier it becomes. The more you prolong it, the more you extend that exposure, you're just making it longer. It might not be as painful quickly, but it's just, to me, I just operate that way. I know people that are being incredibly successful by taking baby steps and doing little things, and then they get there. But
you know, it's funny. You remind me of a quote from one of my favorite books by an author and venture capitalist, Ben Horowitz. He wrote, "If you're gonna eat shit, don't nibble."
Yeah, exactly, dude. Go eat some shit. You're gonna see it's not even that bad at the end of the day, bro.
Or it won't kill you.
It's not gonna kill you. Definitely not gonna kill you.
How do you approach connecting with your audience, and what efforts do you make to understand their perspectives and their experiences?
Be yourself. I'm myself. I'm genuinely me every day, every hour I stream. That is the easiest way to get someone to at least acknowledge you and or at least appreciate you, because they're not getting bullshitted. And what was the second part of the question?
Is what efforts do you make to understand your audience's perspectives and experiences?
I listen. It's really simple, man. I listen. People want to be heard. People have a lot of emotions, traumas, experiences, and nowadays it's more common that people do not feel heard, even by the ones closest around them, by their friends, their family, loved ones, and all this stuff. So there's a lot of demand for that. And to just simply sit down, and because I'm on a selling app where every channel you go to, mostly every channel you go to, let me not paint with a broad brush, but mostly every channel, they're selling. Like the main purpose of that streamer is to sell and make money.
Yeah.
So when they get a break from that and they'll pop onto my show and I'm just sitting back and talking with them and answering questions and giving helpful advice, or at least things that they've taken on and they've shown to have bettered their lives, that has a lot more value than selling them a pair of Jordans. That's going to get them to really remember me in a sense that not only did I provide an item for them and a good deal, but I've maybe created a better habit for them that they can take on for years and years and years and ultimately live a happier life because of, one or two little things. Or maybe that might be just a catalyst that starts their, new journey onto bettering themselves or wanting to try harder. And that's really my main goal. So it's something where it kind of feeds itself. I do this because I want to, and it only produces the best results back toward me. So it's just... it's almost like it's too obvious, and I do enjoy doing that. To me, it's not about the short term of the sale of the shoe. To me, it's the long term of building that relationship with that client base, with that person, because they're people. Right. They're not my clients, they're people. Some of them have grown to be good fucking friends. It's taken all kinds of directions,
I wonder what's something that you think you were in your active listening? Has there ever been a moment that you were surprised with what you picked up on?
What do you mean? What I picked up on?
Just in your active listening, just anything that stands out that you were able to see someone in your audience and recognize their experience.
Oh, recognize there. Well, there's plenty of people that come on looking for advice to be streamers. That I was there, that day where I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what I was doing. So you go and you ask. So there's a lot of kind of what I see in myself, what I can relate with them. But there's also traumas. We just had a show where a guy come in. He wanted to thank me for saving his son's life.
Really?
I thought it was like a little like, he just needed these shoes, or he would be, he couldn't play or something. No, he literally said that he's sitting next to his son today because his son was at his ends. He just happened to log in and catch my show, couldn't put it down, and I gave him just the energy and the vibe of the show because I don't think he was interactive. Maybe he was, but just by me being overall positive, it deterred him from unaliving himself that day. And his dad, he told his dad about it. He came on the show and he told us, and he messaged us, and I gave him my number to say, hey, listen, if ever in case of an emergency or anything like that, you need someone to talk to, please. That is incredibly rewarding, dude. You can't put a price on that shit. Like, I'm going to go to my grave not because of the one pair of J's I sold. It's because of stories like that people come through and say, dude, you literally, just your attitude, your way of being, just changed my day, changed my life. That's fucking amazing.
Wow.
That's really beautiful. You can't pay for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a beautiful journey because if you had planned to be here, you probably would have got here.
No. That's what I'm saying. My goal, I can't tell you, bro. I can't tell you. The goal for people, at least to me, should be just dude, find any way you can to fulfill yourself, to better your life, better your odds. Give yourself a better chance. And in that process, in that journey, because life is not short, dude. Life is fucking long. There's a lot of time to invest to building something up.
And then I would offer an opposite perspective in the same energy, though. Life is long, and if you're not building, you can be miserable.
Oh, for a long time, you can feel miserable, bitter, resentful.
You're just living in all those lower frequencies, not realizing.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting things that I've experienced is seeing an elder person in their 60 plus starting therapy, starting healing.
Yeah, starting a bunch of things.
And they're just at that stage going, oh shit, I've wasted this much time.
Yeah.
And and then so it creates a more urgency to live, right? My greatest fear is being 70 and realizing that. I'm 36 now, and I've spent the better part of the last 14 years trying to better myself.
Yeah.
And it's been probably the most fruitful thing I've ever decided to do between, trying to learn health and reading just reading in general, growing in my crafts, dealing with my obstacles, and then trying to be the person that I see myself as.
Mm-hmm.
And hoping that I do a good enough job that other people see me that way too. But, not relying on that, but being the person you desire to be,
Mm-hmm.
and doing whatever's necessary to be that.
Dude, that is literally why I do whatever I feel like doing, in a mature and a disciplined way. Because I'm gonna get to be 70, and I'm gonna look back and I'm go, bro, I did pretty much anything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to move out of the house, I moved out. I wanted to buy that car, I bought that car. I wanted to start this business, I started that business. I wanted to date multiple women while being married, I did that. Like, this is all stuff that once I get to my grave, I'm like, bro, there's nothing left on the table. Anything I wanted to try or do, I tried and did. And some things I was great at, and some things I sucked at. But at least I did it, I tried it. I don't have to get till I'm 70 and go, oh man, if I only parachuted. No, I did that too already. Like, it's all stuff that if you want to do it, just either build up to it, and either, because some things are expensive that people want to do, they want to travel, they want to do that. Either have a plan to get there, or if it's something more impulsive and it's free, it's like, just set up a time to do it, bro, and then just go try it.
Go for it.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like people like you are important. And I say that I deal with a lot of influencers, right?
Okay.
A lot of creative people that are doing things. And you, for me, represent a kind of influencer, a kind of entrepreneur. You remind me a lot of one of my clients. His name is Citoonthebeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
He never had a regular job. He knew since he was in high school that he was going to be a multi-platinum producer.
Mm-hmm.
And he just willed that shit into
Yeah.
existence. When I talk to him, he tells me, like, I just always knew. And so I just always did it.
Yeah.
And I never thought I couldn't. And you telling me your journey now, it's like you had the similar thing. Like, you just knew. Maybe not that you were going to end up here, but that anything you set your mind to that you could do. And I think that's important. And I can say this humbly, with respect and both admiration. You're the type of people, the type of person that inspires me, because I wish I had that young. I got that as an adult. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that when I was in grammar school or high school. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had skills, but the belief that I could do something, even if it was crazy, I didn't acquire that till later. And it took me a long journey to acquire that. So when I hear these stories, that's what I say, you're of a kind.
That makes sense, yeah.
You're of a kind. And I'm like, I bet you exist. Then I can definitely exist.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I tell everybody, bro, is I'm not built any different than you are, bro. We have the same fucking makeup. We have the same capabilities. Maybe here and there, some people are less fortunate. You don't have, all your limbs or something. I get that, extreme cases. But at the end of the day, dude, I'm flesh and blood. I don't have any special resources. I didn't grow up, with a lot of money. I just, anything I've done, I've just worked at it and got to a point where you earn it, So it's not, I don't want to make it seem like, even though I can be more of an anomaly in the way that I kind of conduct myself, it's something that's very attainable for the mass majority of the public. So that's why my whole kind of vision is to find your own success, dude, because no one should tell you what's going to make you successful. Only you can really understand and feel that and give yourself that at the end of the day. So, and back to what you were saying about being an influencer and stuff. It's funny because we didn't grow up with influencers.
Right.
Okay? I always felt I wanted to be influential, not an influencer of how it's visioned today. So that's all it was. That's why that story stood out with me so much, about that kid that almost, unalived himself, and his dad came in and said because of the show he was able to keep going. That is to me being influential in a positive way, that keeps society going, that keeps people hopes alive, because there's a lot of negativity, dude. There's a lot of ways to feel. There's a lot of reasons to feel down. You watch the news, you go out, you talk to coworkers. Like, most people are being negative Nellies. Yeah. So it's hard to find something to grasp that's positive and genuine. I've gotten to a point that even if we talk about the most controversial topics, I know how to approach them in a way that's at its most centrist and unbiased, and also in a way that I'm not going to say not offend people, because nowadays people can get offended very easily, but in a way that is if someone wants to actually take it in as a reference or a source of information, it is justified. I at least give a point of view that has some form of backing, some form of justification. It's not going to be wild opinions. It's not going to be like just all these kind of theories that you have. No. And if I don't know anything about the subject, I'm like, hey man, that's not my jam. I really can't say much about it because I don't know that much about it. You know, it's something you want to talk about it, I'm like, all right, give me a week. Let me do some homework and we can revisit it. But if I at least am up to date on what's going on, or at least have some general knowledge on the subject, I'll give you what I know, but I'll do it in a way, like I said, as at least civilized and respectful. I'm not trying to purposely, push people's buttons or anything like that. So
I think that gives you the superpower of being able to navigate it in ways that maybe other people can't.
Yeah.
Maybe you become like a bridge.
Yeah, and that's a great term, because that's how I feel on the show. People will come in and they'll ask some controversial things, and I'll break it down in a sense where both sides of the argument can at least see it as, all right, that's acceptable, which is hard to do when you have two extremes fighting over a topic, a conversation. So for me, it's rewarding, and it's also reassuring to know that all that training and all the skills are paying off. I'm not saying have paid off, because I'm always going to learn more. It's never going to be a day where I know everything. So I know that that's reassurance that I'm doing something well, and it's leading to the success of having people, build connections and better relationships with either these topics or themselves, because, before that topic, they might have not seen eye to eye, so they didn't like each other. But now, because this was been introduced and it changed their perspective a little, now they can go, all right, you know what, it's not that bad.
That's so interesting, because it seems like the community you've generated, they've been evolving with you.
Yeah.
And, including the story of the young man that you changed his life.
Yeah.
It's such a unique experience. I think about where we come from in Hudson County, New Jersey. And, that's not something we were ever told that we would be able to do, to affect someone's life like that. It's not. Maybe if you disagree with me, let me know.
No, I completely agree with you.
I think, to see you grow up to become that person is such a wonderful thing to witness. Again, because I never saw like the bully side. I always saw you to be a helpful person that was always down for a good time. I only have good memories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's such an interesting thing, and then I get why people enjoy tapping in. You present such a charisma, but I think at its core, what you're really good at is creating a safe space.
Yeah.
Where people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what's being represented on your pages, because last I checked, you were upwards of like 12,000, something like that, right?
Followers?
Yeah.
21,000 and counting, bro, in a year.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, it was. I know to someone with 500,000 subscribers, that ain't shit. But to us, like I said, I call myself an old man, at least for the game I'm in. I'm 35 years old, and I'm selling sneakers with 17-year-olds. It's a phenomenal number for me.
Well, my point to that, right? My reaction to that is there are so many people our age that disbelieve that that's even possible.
Oh yeah.
They'll look at the social thing and be like, "That's for the kids."
Yeah. And
I think your open-mindedness and even your studiousness, because you could have done like an 8 o'clock show, right? But you did a 7:45 a.m. show. And not everybody wants to do that because they consider social to be like a plaything.
Mm-hmm.
I think you choosing to do 7:45 and then choosing to do 7 days a week, it's more evidence that of the people of our contemporary age, you don't take it as a joke.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you nurture it with the care, and that if anyone our age did that, they could likely see the same results.
Absolutely. With anything they choose to do. You just got to work harder than everyone else. I know It sounds incredibly overwhelming, but working hard, just most of the people nowadays are not working that hard. If you just dedicate yourself a little bit of your free time and chip away and look at it long term, it's not going to happen overnight. We're, again, a little bit of an anomaly because we literally popped on this app with zero social media following, no really understanding of how things worked. And I just, like I said, I threw myself in there. I was like, fuck it, we're going to try this. And it blew up to what it is now. If you just at least are prepared for that, or at least are very good at adapting, because that was the main thing I had to do. I didn't know much, so I had to learn quick and adapt quick. Because what I thought might have worked in practice may have not. So immediately I got to change because I got a show tomorrow. When the show ends, I got a show tomorrow. That's the same thing. So my main vision was, how do I make next show better? How do I make each next show better? So now that we've got, how many shows, my love? Over 500 at least?
Last year, calendar year, you did 443 shows.
Okay, we're almost at 500 shows. Once you put in that much, you're going to learn some things throughout that. And when I get to 1,000 shows, I'm going to learn more. And when I get to 10,000, and that's the thing that people see, is they look at the goal as, I want to be the best streamer. So the goal's all the way over there, dude. And it's, oh, fuck. That's a long way away. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time. And people feel overwhelmed and discouraged, and they don't even try. But if you look at it, if you rewind all of that, and to get to that goal, the first thing you got to do is start your first show. That's way more attainable than being the biggest streamer on the planet. So you can work on your first task of starting your first show. Maybe it can just be picking up the phone, creating the show. You don't start it. You give yourself a week, but it's there. You can promote it. You've dedicated yourself a day. Then the next step is running that show. Press start show. You do your show, you rip the Band-Aid off, you end the show, and you go, I'm still alive. I'm not, no one's coming after me. I can do another show. That was actually kind of fun. And then you just build off that, and before you know it, when you look back after a few years, or however, because you can time, it just depends how good you are and how dedicated you are. If you have a natural talent for the craft, you're in a much better advantage. And then if you dedicate most of your free time to it, you're only going to build your experience up even more. So you're going to get better at it faster. So the more you can just try at it, but do it, take it seriously, that's going to yield you the best results. So you've got to have a dedication to it, and keep grinding no matter what. Don't take times off. Yes, things happen. We lose people in the family. We want to take vacation. We want to do that. But man, if it's that important, if you really believe in that's going to be what's going to lead to your ultimate success, keep at it. There's ways to sprinkle little things in here and there and still have a life. But for the most part, dude, you've got to work hard. You've got to work hard. And if you work harder than the guy that's just doing it to fuck around and spend, 20 minutes a day seeing what he can do, you're gonna beat him pretty quickly. Then the guy that does this, every other day, he's all right, and some people like him. But if you work a little harder, you're gonna beat him one day. And then you keep moving up the ranks. You gotta keep climbing that ladder till eventually you put in so much time, you've worked so hard, it's going to pay off. But you've gotta have that feedback. You gotta know how to cater your show, your craft, your product to meet what people want, because that's how you're gonna build it, bro. You can't just, just go full force and not listen to anybody, and this is what you gotta do, and just only do this. No. You gotta take in feedback. You gotta have people that you can trust to talk to and give you a little advice, give you some suggestions, have surveys, whatever it is, study your shows, get the analytics, all that things that help you. You have to build yourself an armory so fucking tough that no one's going to take you down. And that starts with skills, with knowledge, with techniques, with resources. There's so much that goes into it, but you can chip away on that. And that's what could be encouraging to people to start their own journey. It's fractionalize it. Don't look at it as the big picture long-term down the road. Understand that it takes the first step. So just plan your first step. Then you plan your second step. And if you see that, you just chip it away, and you can take as much time as you want. Your own progress is dictated by your own desire. All right? If you start something, you take 2-3 steps, but you really don't like it, you don't like what you're doing, you can just stop and go start something else. If you take 2 or 3 steps and you go, holy shit, this is a lot more fun than I thought, you're going to speed up. You're going to want to run and jog or whatever to get to that point. But again, Your desire will drive based on what you choose to do or what to sell, but there's always something you can do. Even if you stay home and watch TV all day, but you've seen every episode of Rick and Morty 1,000 times, you can start a little podcast on Rick and Morty. You can start drawing up trivia questions to sell to, because that's a big popular thing at bars, trivia night. You know, all this stuff. You can create trivia questions. You can have a forum to discuss, you know, Easter eggs or things that don't make sense. There's a lot you can do from what you think means nothing, but you have a passion for it. There's, 7 billion people now? You're not so unique that you like one thing that no one else is going to like. All right? There's a lot of things that people like that have that in common with you, but you're just not putting it out there, so you don't really know. All right? So that's a lot of missed opportunity to me. You leave a lot on the table that way.
I think that's kind of another one of your superpowers. You don't leave nothing on the table.
Never, dude. That's why I'm going to get to being 80 and I'm going to get interviewed. Be like, well, what's your biggest regret at 80? Nothing. I'm going to say dick, bro. Nothing. I did everything I wanted to do in the moment I wanted to do it. I did it in the most responsible form where I didn't have to end up in jail. I didn't have to end up bankrupt. You know, hopefully, who knows what the future holds. You know, I will make tougher choices and riskier decisions. But hopefully, you know, even a step backward is going to lead to 2 steps forward sometimes. So, to me, if the juice is worth the squeeze, all right, I'm fucking squeezing the shit out of it, bro.
What was the final number take home at the end of 2023?
We were, I don't know the exact number, but we were take home probably just about 200,000. Because I know before fees and everything, we have the take home 190,000. That was take home for our first year ever selling sneakers or streaming online. And a lot of that went right back into the business, man. Right back into the business. That's why we have a studio now with professional lighting. We have multiple devices. We have all this inventory. We have all this shipping equipment. We have, you know, I have multiple vehicles. It's, you know, we started selling used Timberlands, man, with one phone, and now we have this. So, and it's also, we were able to move and buy a house and install new windows and things like that. So it has progressed our life. But again, in like liquid cash, if you were to check my checking account, it's sad, baby. It is sad. But everything's tied into the business. I have enough cash to survive and get my things, which is, you know, I go to the dispensary once a month. I pick up my prescription, and that's it. And then the rest it's all into the business, or it's just utilities or what we need for the house, you know, groceries, things like that. So yeah, man.
You know, and I think that's an interesting thing, because I think there's a lot of people out there that would make that money and not reinvest it.
Because you want to have fun with money. Money's fun. To me, money's not fun. To me, what's going to be fun is once I have so much money, I can have all the fun I fucking want. All right? We still have our fun. Like you said, I still play soccer. We'll go out every other weekend or something. It's not like we don't have any fun and I'm just like, you know, obsessive about my business 18 hours of the day. It's like 14 hours of the day. You know, I still leave an hour or two to you know, have fun with my wife or go see a friend or, you know, something like that. Stop and watch a movie. During Christmas time, we like to watch Christmas movies. Shit like that. You can still have a normal life where you can do things. You can visit family. You can have some fun. But no, to me, the main drive is furthering the business, bettering the business, building the brand, seeing, you know, what challenges or what obstacles I can take on. So it's that constant drive to want to be better. It's never going to, I don't want to say it's not going to be enough, but I don't want to settle. I don't want to get into a form of being so comfortable where I don't want to break out of that shell. You know?
That's interesting. Has there ever been a moment where you had to bite the bullet for the business?
Every business person does that.
Well,
I have a lot of personal feelings as to things, but I'm not going to express them because I know it's not going to aid in building my customer base. You know, one funny thing, actually, I can't even say that's largely true. We have a guy that comes on the show, loves Crocs, wears nothing but Crocs, and there's quite a fan base for Crocs. I absolutely detest Crocs. Okay, Crocs are not my fucking jam. I think they're the most pointless piece of footwear. I tell them all the time, if you got to go walk your dog, you got to go down to your basement that's concrete, sure, Crocs are fine. But when people are out in public and in the rain with shoes that have holes in them, to me, it's like, what are you telling me? To me, you're telling me you don't fucking care. You don't care. You've given up. You're not trying to pull. You're just trying to get in, get out, and not be fucking bothered. So it's something, it's something where, yeah, at first I didn't want to be that open about how I felt about Crocs. But once people see that it's not actually, people are still buying them anyways, and it's not, you know, I make fun of it because it's a joking thing. It's not because I'm really trying to, you know, have people not buy Crocs. I sell plenty of Crocs. You know, and I call them what do I call them? I call them birth control, because you're not getting laid in Crocs, bro. So they're just as effective, probably more effective, and it's things like that. But no, you've got to bite the bullet in a way that you're not a pushover, but you understand what's best for the business. There's little examples of that. Nothing too great. What's that? Yeah, the breakfast, that's actually an interesting point. If I had my choice of what to promote, it'd be a healthy lifestyle, it'd be exercising, it'd be doing all this stuff. What it's grown into is pushing breakfast, because that's what our show turned into. It's just been a morning show. People have breakfast in the morning for the most part. We decided to get a couple of boxes of cereal one day to use as a giveaway, because everyone can do a giveaway. We wanted to make ours a little bit more unique. And that started a huge movement of, now this is the most sought after giveaway on the whole fucking app, unless you're giving away like a PS5 or, you know, something crazy. People line up for the breakfast giveaway. They literally tell me, they set timers, they wake up, they enter, they don't win, they go back to sleep. It's for cereal, but I'm not going to promote everyone feeding this and eating this every fucking day, because it's not the best for you. It's basically just sugar. I know it tastes amazing, but it's sugar.
I actually love when I catch parts of your show and you're like, all right, breakfast giveaway. I don't eat this shit.
I don't eat this
but
shit.
You can eat this shit if you want to.
Because that's my whole view, bro. We live in a country where you have that freedom. You know, people are too caught up on what you should do. Bro, let people do what the fuck they want to do. To me, if there's been plenty of people that go, okay, bro, if I want to change from this, what can I do to eat a little better? And I tell them to hit me up on Snap or an IG, and I coach them through it, and they take that on. But the majority are enjoying their lives the way they want to, and if they want cereal, they want cereal. The majority of the people want cereal, so that's what we have. I'm not gonna, you know, deter people or keep people from breakfast, because I get them at a great price. And they can save money or save a trip to the grocery store, which in turn can give them a little bit more time at home with their kids to get their nails done. Who the fuck knows? But again, I always see it as, if I can do this for you, it should make things a little easier. And that is the combined value of not only purchasing something, but the convenience of it.
That's so interesting, because, you know, it seems like that is definitely a prime example of something that just happened. And then you were then like crowned the cereal king.
Because I rolled with it. That's the main thing. I didn't detour. I didn't try to hold it up. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what the people want. This will make the brand better. This will build the show. Then let's do it. I'd be an idiot to go, oh, this is gonna work, but no, I'm not really feeling it, so I'm not gonna do it. If it's something like, you know, someone wants to sponsor me, but their whole campaign is they drown puppies, all right. We're not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get that kind of sponsorship. That we draw a line somewhere. But if people want to eat fucking cereal, I'm not gonna stop them from eating cereal, bro. You know, you're adults. You make your own choices. If you're giving that to your kids, you're their parents, dude. That's not my responsibility. I can't hold myself accountable for that. You're not gonna change things by doing that. What I feel is the desire, at least amongst my tenured viewers, is that a lot of them don't do the cereal, either because they agree with the healthy lifestyle, they already had one before, or they've seen me be so passionate about trying to be healthier that they don't really partake that much in it. It's really a lot for the new people, or people, like I said, they're younger, you know, they got their whole lives ahead of them. Who cares if they eat a couple bowls of cereal a week? You know, because that really is not gonna do anything. So those are the ones that get more involved. But people see my overall view and they respect it. I like it because I respect their choice to eat cereal if you want to, and they respect me because I don't eat this stuff and I go to the gym, every day. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a nice way to mesh with everybody. It's nice to come into a place where everyone kind of understands that even though we're different, we have different preferences, perspectives on things, we can all still get along, man. I know it sounds hippie, like why can't everybody just get along? But we practice that every day on the show, and it's amazing, and it's rewarding as hell.
What would you say are the 5 things that have been crucial to your success on this journey?
Crucial to my success.
Well, let me rephrase. Crucial to everything good on your journey thus far, which would include success.
So my thing would be more, if I told you my 5 main things, it would lessen the relatability to a lot of other people. You know what I mean? Because those are my experiences that I've had, and everyone's not going to have the same ones. I think the most crucial thing I did that at least became the catalyst to my success is prioritizing myself, my health, my physical health, my mental health, my relationships, because that is one of the most detrimental things someone has, is an uncle that's negative, a girlfriend that's not supportive, a stepdad that won't back you up. That's what holds people up, dude. A lot of times is the ones closest to you. You say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Oh, no, that sounds crazy. That sounds complicated. Oh, you sure you want to do that? That is one of the main sources of what's deterring people to following their dreams or following their vision and building something they want to do. So if you know how to manage your relationships and how to at least not be affected by their opinions, because sometimes you just can't X people out of your life. I get that. But if you can, and say, hey man, listen, we're bros, but I need 3 months, man. I'm going to work on something. I'll show you later. I just need 3 months, man. I don't hate you. We're still going to be cool. Just give me 3 months, bro. And that's it. You can have 3 months to work on something and see if it's something that you can at least, but try it. So if you have that self-confidence by working on yourself, because it doesn't happen overnight. Let's say you have a vision to do something, but you're very timid, you're very introverted. You start there. You start on self-confidence. There's plenty of resources. To me, as long as you have one of these in your pocket, or you have Wi-Fi, or you can walk to a library that has Google, you can research techniques to build confidence, to be more self-assured, to increase your self-esteem. There's all kinds of life hacks that you can do alone for free, just as going outside, getting some sun, exposing yourself to Mother Nature, breathing exercises. There's so many hacks. Drinking water, that's a big one. I drink, 3-4 of these a day, and it's the most essential thing I do. A lot of people, they don't even drink water most of the day. And that's not going to keep your body running at max capacity, at your most optimum level. So the more you can, like I say, discipline yourself to work on yourself and give yourself the best chance to be physically and mentally healthy, you're going to succeed way more, bro. You're going to succeed way more. Anybody can give you a list of things you can do. Yeah. It's the same thing as, a doctor comes on. Well, if you add ginger to your diet, it can lessen, inflammation. Like, yeah, if you're eating McDonald's every day, but you sprinkle a little ginger, that's not gonna do shit. You gotta combine that with having water all day, with sleeping your 7 to 8 hours, with eating a salad or eating something clean. And then if you sprinkle ginger onto that, you're gonna give yourself a better chance. Or if you sprinkle zinc or turmeric or whatever it is that you're dealing with that they say might help, you can try it then. But you can't, I feel that everything's been so streamlined now. People want the results immediately, and they don't see the building blocks it takes. I used to be in construction. I used to do basement inspections for property damage and structural issues. It's the same thing with building anything, man. Building a brand, building a business, it's just like building a structure. You've got to have a solid foundation, dude. And before the foundation, you have a footing that has to cure for months before you can put anything on top. People don't want to take that time to have that footing cure. And then you build the concrete foundation. And then that has to cure before you can put any lumber or wood to build the house. It's a process. If you're patient enough to recognize the process, and the foundation in this case is you're the person, okay? If you build yourself up right, the right way, by code, okay, you're gonna have incredible results. You're gonna be a lot more resilient. So just like a house, if a storm comes, but it's well built, that house is standing strong. We face storms in our lives all the time. But if you're well built, you're gonna weather that storm no problem and say, thank you, may I have another? If you're a rickety old, just a tent because you just put it together real quick because you thought you're gonna capitalize on this little thing, the first, windstorm that comes, you're done. You're done, broski. So why set yourself up for failure that way? Take a lot of little failures, but know that that's going to lead to long-term gains and achieving your goals. The little failures, the big ones are what knock you out, dude. And even if it's a big one, a big risk you took, fuck it. It happened, and you got to try again because life goes on. It's that resiliency. Once you feel that confident, if you work on yourself enough that way, and like I said, I want to do more in sharing what I've learned that has helped me get to this point, what tactics I've used, what resources I got, all of that stuff, bro, because I think it's only going to better people's mentality, help with their mental health, and give them hope, dude. Because a lot of people that I meet, yeah, it looks like they're enjoying themselves, but there's very little hope that anything great's gonna happen. Between all the exterior circumstances, we have all the externals going on. There's not a lot of hope. So to me, I have incredible fucking hope that things can get better. How? You chip away, but believe in yourself first. If you really respect yourself and really look in the mirror and go, bro, it's okay. I love you. I love me. I love you, me. However you want to fucking do it, baby. It's good. It's good to be able to understand that you can love yourself. You are important. You have value. Doesn't matter how your mom sees you, how your wife sees you. You have value. And it's just being able to tap into that and believe that you're valuable. That'll set you up on a path where you can do amazing things.
That's it.
Cool.